State Representative Maurice West joins forces with advocacy group Mascots Matter to challenge harmful school mascots across Illinois. This Wednesday, West and the group will speak about House Bill 3527, a bill that would require schools to phase out offensive mascots by September 1st, 2028. West believes schools should be places of respect, not places that hold on to outdated and hurtful stereotypes. Mascots Matter co-director Shelby Holloway sees this bill as a big step in creating a more inclusive environment where every student feels respected.